40 yards.
And when you look across the field, across the sideline tonight, Sandra Day O'Connor coming into this game, and they've had an interesting story as well to their season. 1-2 coming into tonight's contest, but they just spent a week in one of the most luxurious places you could, Brian. They just spent a week out in Hawaii.
Yeah, they were out in Hawaii. They went and played team in Hawaii, and they actually talked to Coach Casey before the game. He said they spent an entire week out there, and it was more than just a football trip. They actually had a coach get married, and they actually had 3 kids get baptized on the trip. And so, you know, he's like, so we won the trip overall is how he kind of described it. So he's got a team that's fairly young, not a ton of depth from what Coach Casey had said. He said it's one of those things, it's a little bit harder when you're playing a team with the depth of the Pumas that, you know, they don't have 3,600 kids to pull from. He's like, we maybe have 140 in our program. It looks like you guys have 140 in our varsity roster. So.
Well, you mentioned that. I mean, that is a fact as the Pumas storm out of the tunnel here tonight, trying to pick up their 3rd win of the season, 3rd out of 4. You mentioned the roster. Sandra Day O'Connor, at least listed online, as only having about 60 kids. The Pumas closer to 150. So it's definitely a very David versus Goliath matchup here tonight.
Yeah, that's the tough part. The Pumas, that depth's going to be tested tonight. They've got 2 of their starting stud linebackers out. Cole Sabetta is out with a hamstring injury that occurred in week 1. And their leading tackler, Jackson Ford, out with an ankle injury. We just found that out at kickoff. Weren't sure. We thought he was starting, and come to find out, no, he is down for the night. So you got a sophomore in there with Hatch starting at one side, and we'll see if they can hold up and really fill those holes that are gone on that defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, the classic game-time decision pull.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a kid who's covered a lot of ground out there for the Pumas.
Just moments away here from kickoff and from Gilbert, Arizona. Pumas taking on the Eagles here tonight from John Wren Stadium. Should be a good one. It's homecoming night here for the Pumas. We normally know the results in these homecoming games. At least on paper, it looks like the Pumas should be able to steamroll their way to their 3rd win of the season tonight.
Yeah, the Pumas in a touchy spot right now. They've got 3 winnable games right in a row here that you think they'd be favored in all of them, and then they have Chandler sitting there waiting for them coming out of those 3 games. So Pumas going to look to get good in the right spot, get healthy in some of these spots against some of these opponents that maybe not put up as much of a fight before they get to that Chandler game where they're going to have all hands on deck.
The Pumas will be returning, and we are underway here from Perry High School. The kick is caught at the 10-yard line, and that's where we'll get started. It's Jordan Young on the return. He's got some room to run on the outside past the 45-yard line. Finally pushed out of bounds all the way back. It looks like he crossed just about midfield. However, we have a flag on the play, so this one likely to be coming back.
Yeah, 2 flags. So, again, kind of back to where we were week 1. We had a lot of laundry on the field, and no exception first play of the game tonight.
So it is going to be on the Pumas. Looks like a hold was the official signal there. And that is going to be the call. So it's a hold against the Pumas. A spot foul, of course. So 10 yards from there. And it looks like the Pumas, who could have started on Sandra Day O'Connor's side of the field, will be starting from inside their own 20. Chuba Purdy, of course, the starting quarterback for the Pumas, closing in on his 1,000th yard of the season. He's only played 3 games, only needs about 40 yards to do so. They start on the ground here, and the Pumas staying on schedule on first down, about 9 yards on the first play of the game.
Yeah, Day getting the start tonight at running back, a little bit different than what we've seen before. And so they say Day will run hard. He's got to work on finding those holes.
Jonathan Day runs for 9 yards on the first play, and he gets the ball right back. Little counter action here. Goes the opposite way toward the near hash. Has enough for the first down out to the 31. And Pumas through 2 plays are looking good.
Yeah, nice start by the Pumas on offense so far. And so what you like to see, nice, easy, big chunks of yardage here. Keep this offense on the field and wear down this defense.
Purdy with Day to his left. They decide to go his way one more time. Day cut it upfield toward the 40-yard line. Is going to be just short of the markers. Another gain of 9. So throughout the first 3 plays, it's been a gain of 9, 10, and then 9 for Jonathan Day.
Well, those things I think they'll take. And running back been a question mark so far. Haven't gotten a lot of production out of that spot. So nice start for Day tonight.
Purdy now working in the pistol. Decides to pull back and throw this time. Pass incomplete. Good defense right there from the Eagles defensive back. It'll be third down now.
Yeah, nice job on the RPO. That defensive back coming up and taking that slant away from the tight end there. That, you know, got to body him up and take him out of the spot, but third and short look for Purdy to probably keep here.
And Brock Lane, the intended receiver. 4 wide set here for the Pumas. Does look like it'll be setting up for perhaps a quarterback draw here. Purdy snaps, throws quickly, and it's complete to Jordan Young just past the markers. They only had to pick up 2, and they end up picking about 5.
That's a scary little throw right there. Looked like it didn't have a lot of oomph on it.
A little behind Young as well. Did well to contort his body, adjust to it. First down for the Pumas at the 44-yard line. They give to Day once again here on first down. He tries to be patient, wait for something to develop. Nothing really does, however, falls forward for a gain of 3. First drive of the night in tonight's contest between the Eagles and the Pumas. Friday the 13th, under the lights here in Gilbert, Arizona. Quad set here for the Pumas. Purdy fakes the pass, now decides to tuck it in and run. He's got room to on his left side, gets tripped up, but gets past the markers. It'll be a first down. The Pumas moving into plus territory.
That kind of drags that player along for the extra yardage. It looked like he might have popped that thing out of there, but nice tackle by Sandra Day O'Connor to keep him from ripping off the long one. But Pumas, again, nice drive here going. Already almost 3 minutes off this clock.
Ball at the 45-yard line. Purdy gives once again to his back and watch him go all the way up past the 30-yard line. Another big chunk play for the Pumas on the ground, and they are really moving the ball well.
You can see here this big, huge hole, nice and easy, nothing too fancy. Put your head down and get the gain. That's a nice little 18-yard gain there.
Nathaniel Miles on the carry here on first down. It's another quick hitter. Looks like the pass to Cade Berger, who makes the reception. About a gain of 5 or 6 there, and the Pumas doing well to stay on schedule once again. About 2nd and 5. It's been a methodical drive so far from Perry.
Yeah, I was worried we were going to end up with another 4-hour game, so this is nice.
Purdy wants to throw to the end zone, does over the middle. He's got a man, and it's in the end zone, caught for a touchdown. A 22-yard pass connection from Purdy to Bryce Holdridge, and the Pumas starting off nice, 6 points on the board.
Yeah, nice little RPO with patience here by Purdy. You can see on the replay, Purdy checks it out, sees these backers react, and just kind of waits. He's got an over slant on top, and safety just does a poor job of getting there, takes the inside slant. Purdy hits the touchdown recipient stride. Pumas strike first blood here.
Kyler McCarthy on for the extra point, pulls it right, misses it. The lefty hooks it. So the Pumas will have their lead stay at 6-0 with 8:43 left to go here in the first quarter. And you can hear the student section coming out very loud here tonight. We mentioned before, it's homecoming night.
Got a few things. You got homecoming night, you got Friday the 13th, and you got a full moon. All combined up. Last time there was a full moon on Friday the 13th, 2000.
Really?
Yeah, not a common occurrence, and so gonna have that full moon out tonight on a Friday the 13th. It said the next one's not gonna be for another 30 years.
Something's gonna get crazy, is what you're telling me.
Hopefully not here, maybe afterwards. Nice, easy, safe win tonight for the Pumas, and move on to the next week. But Sandra Day O'Connor's just not going to roll over. Nice drive by the Pumas. Let's see, Sandra Day is known for their offense, so let's see if this Puma defense can hold up here.
Kyler McCarthy with a little pooch kick close to the sideline. Actually does a nice job there, just laying it inside the 10. That's where the kick is picked up and doesn't go much farther than that. Down to the 17-yard line. That was a perfect chip right there from the kicker McCarthy.
Yeah, those are pretty when they're executed right, and that was executed perfectly by McCarthy, for sure.
So now here comes Sandra Day O'Connor, led by their quarterback, Dylan Simonton. Simonton, a senior this year, 5'11", 160. He's thrown for about 800 yards to this point in the season. He gets his first snap and he wants to throw. Takes his time, now finds his check down route, who breaks the tackle. Gain of 10 at least there. As he stays on his feet, it takes 5 Pumas to bring him down. A good first play for the Eagles to start out.
Yeah, nice little boot right there, and easy pickings for Sandra Day O'Connor. Pumas giving up a huge gain on first down.
Damian Ortiz on the reception for Sandra Day O'Connor. Ortiz, kind of a do-it-all type of player. Will play both sides of the ball, can be a tight end, can be a running back. He is Mr. Do-Everything for the Sandra Day team. First down at the 34. They give straight to Ortiz up the middle. Almost broke through the first line until he's wrapped up. It'll be a gain of 3 for Sandra Day.
Yeah, a couple different starters there on the front for the Pumas as well. Looked like Hernandez may have been in there on that tackle for the Pumas. Majorian, another one who didn't start for week 1 against Pinnacle. So a couple changes up front. Pumas have 6 different starters than they did week 1 of the season on this defense tonight. Actually count 7 now with Ford being out.
4 wide set here on 2nd and 7 from the 37. Simonton wants to throw, airs it out. He's looking for Ortiz. It's a jump ball. It's off the shoulder pad, it looked like, of Mayberry, and it's going to be defensive pass interference almost certainly.
Yeah, you can see here on the replay, it's going to be pass interference. You got this long arcing pass here, and Mayberry just kind of takes a whack at his hands way before the ball gets there, and so that's what's going to get called every single time. So Mayberry needs to get his head around. Would have been a little bit better situation there, and easy 15 for Sandra Day O'Connor.
Yeah, they'll take those chunk plays all night long. You mentioned a team like Sandra Day O'Connor, who doesn't have the depth, doesn't have the roster size as Perry. Seems like every single drive for a smaller school like that matters more so and more so as the game goes on. You figure a shootout, the Pumas are likely to be favored. First down now, they give to their running back up the middle. Watch out, lots of room to run. It'll be a gain of almost 20 yards all the way down to the 30-yard line on the carry. That's Garrett Olson, the senior.
See, this is where not having Ford in kills you, because he would come up and clean this up. You got backers running past it and not seeing it through the hole. And so Puma's going to have to do a better job up front, probably take a little more risk going forward in this game as far as how to fill those gaps and protect those young linebackers.
Olson breaking into the 3rd level of the Pumas defense there. Now first down from the 29-yard line. Option play here. They give to Olson, and it's wrapped up in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 3 yards there for Sandra Day.
Yeah, nice job by the Pumas there, stuffing the line and taking care of business, putting them off their mark here. And so see if Sandra Day has to put this ball back in the air, which I don't think they want to do a ton. When we say an undermanned Sandra Day O'Connor team, let's not put them, they're not sisters of the poor by any stretch of the imagination. It's a program that has a lot of support from parents, a lot of support from admin, but it's just, to a certain extent where you got so many kids, it makes a difference. And so
on 2nd and 13, Simonton does a nice job of getting out of the pocket, gets the ball to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be a gain of 2. Ball popped out at the end, but they say Olson was down. It'll be 3rd and long now for Sandra Day.
Like I was saying before, they've got 2,700 kids there, and they've got all the facilities they need, and they got all the support they need. And it's not like you're playing a South Mountain High School or something like that. It's just when you play a school that has 1,000 more kids, there's a lot more options for them to kind of pull from.
3rd and 9 now. Simonton rolling to his right, throws and finds his man on the outside. That looks like Galbraith. He makes the reception, nowhere near the markers though. It'll be 4th and 6, and now it's decision time for head coach Steve Casey.
Yeah, I think Coach Casey would go for it here. I mean, here on the 25, kicker-wise, you're looking at a 42-yard field goal, 43-yard field goal, and so some schools easy, some schools it's a lot to ask, and so apparently at Sandra O'Connor, that's a lot to ask.
Well, it's 4th and 6 from the 26 now. Simonton, 3-step drop, wants a throw, airs it out, going for the end zone, and it's tipped away by Mayberry, falling incomplete, and the Pumas will take over on downs. There's a flag at the line of scrimmage, but you'd have to imagine that's in the area of holding.
Yeah, I can see here you got Pumas come on a blitz, and it does not get picked up. We do a cross blitz through the A-gaps. Quarterback can't really step up in there. Mayberry bats it away. Probably could have picked that off, but on 4th down, sometimes that's the better option. Get the ball back up at that spot.
Penalty was against the Eagles. Pumas decline and take over on downs from the 26. 5 minutes already left to go here in the first quarter, and we're flying by so far, especially after that Pinnacle game. It seems like that.
Not something we were able to say here
Yeah.
a lot. Seems like our games are always one of the longer games in the entire valley, so.
Purdy coming out for his second drive, fakes the run, now throws far side. That looks like Berger on the reception, and the Pumas throughout the first 2 drives have done well on 1st down. This one goes for about 7 yards.
Berger doing a nice job getting his first start tonight, so. Pumas aren't gonna ask for a lot out of these receivers, but those little hitches and move the chain catches are gonna be really important for this offense.
Another 2nd down play. This time it's Holdridge on the outside. He caught the touchdown pass. He's brought down at the 40-yard line. It'll be another 1st down for the Pumas. Perry really moving the ball well throughout their first couple of drives, and they are taking their time while they're doing it as well. Purdy in the snap, gives to Nathaniel Miles, his back, falling forward. Nice north and south run there from Miles. It'll be just short of the marker, gain of 9. Second and 1 from the 49-yard line. The Pumas already trying to put some separation between them and the Eagles. Purdy fakes the give, throws to Jordan Young out on the flat. Young catches and accelerates to the Sandra Day 45 for a 1st down.
Yeah, it's kind of hitching you to death here. It's Sandra Day's playing off, and Puma's going to take the low-lying fruit here and take advantage of that defense not really doing a ton.
Empty backfield here for Purdy. Got a 4-wide set with the tight end. Gets his play call from the sidelines as we are under 3.5 minutes left to go here in the first. Purdy rolling to his left, wants to go deep, decides to tuck it away, now has to improvise. Stays on his feet, past 2, jukes past another. How about that? Chubba Purdy gets near the markers. Talk about making something out of nothing for a gain of 8.
Yeah, when you hear the term dual threat quarterback, this is one of the things they're talking about. And so, plays dead in the water. You got a 6'3", 220-pound quarterback breaking tackles, making people miss. You know, the play should have been for a loss, and he ends up picking up 9. So 7. Sorry, but that's the danger of Chubba not getting to his legs and getting him down on the ground.
Gain of 7. Looked like he broke 7 tackles on that play. 2nd and 3 now. Purdy wants to go long. He's got a man. He's looking for Holdridge, and it falls in between Bryce Holdridge and Jordan Young. Neither man really knew who it was for, and it falls incomplete for 3rd down.
Yeah, it's we should play a game called 500. You just throw it up and you get points for catching it. It's like one of those ones. I don't know who that was going to, but somebody get it.
Yeah, Jordan Young running the go route there. Looked like he kind of looked at Holdridge, kind of looked at the ball, and didn't really know what to do. 3rd down nonetheless. You'd imagine it's 4-down territory from here for the Pumas. Ball at the 38-yard line. Purdy rolling right. Throws on the flat to Young, and Young turns on the Jets. Turns the corner past the 30, near the 25-yard line, down at the 27 for a 1st down.
If this play looks familiar to you and you're watching the Cardinals game on Sunday last week, this is the touchdown to Larry Fitzgerald. Set him in motion. Turn around, pick. Wide open first down.
Easy as you like. Easy as you like.
Football 101 right there.
Young goes in motion again. Purdy wanted to throw, now does throw while scrambling, looking for Xavier James. It's over his head, falls incomplete, and if I'm not mistaken, that's the first incompletion we've seen tonight from Purdy.
Puma's trying to get deep, but I'm going to go back to that run game because having some success with it. Kind of backed off of it here in this last series. So see if they get back to the ground and try to wear down this front for the Eagles. They got some players that aren't the largest up there on that front.
2nd and 10 now after the incompletion. Another empty set here. That was actually Purdy's second incompletion. First one came earlier in the drive on that pass that fell in between Holdridge and James. Purdy rolls out to his left, trying to let the play develop, decides to tuck it in. There he goes up the far side, puts his shoulder down out of bounds. It'll be short of the markers. It'll be 3rd and limited here for the Pumas. Purdy ends up picking up 7. Ball at the 20-yard line, definitely within field goal range here. As the Perry student section starting to get into it a little bit, some miscommunication out on the field. Holdridge getting to his spot a little bit late. 3rd and 3 from the 20-yard line. Purdy fakes the give, floats it over the middle. How about that? Brock Lane, nobody around him. He hangs on for the touchdown. Just a little floater is all that's needed. Touchdown, Perry. It's 12-0.
Yeah, a little play action here, and nobody covers the tight end. Just floats it up there. Nice catch by Lane, putting that hand underneath it, getting it in there for that touchdown.
Easy as you like. Everybody bites on the play action and creates a wide open situation. McCarthy's point after is through the uprights, and we're at 13-0. The Pumas on top of the Eagles. $13-0. 2:45 left to go in the first quarter. And this has been a lot more of a relaxed game so far for the Pumas. We last saw them in action against Pinnacle, first game of the season. They've won 2 straight since then, including last week's thriller against Red Mountain. And they are in charge so far tonight. The Eagles' first drive was moving. A little help from some Perry penalties, but it stalled late, turning the ball over near the Perry 25-yard line. And Dylan Simonton, quarterback for the Eagles, will get another chance here after this pooch kick by McCarthy, and it almost is recovered by a Puma player. It ends up taking a bounce out of bounds. And another nice job there by the Puma kicking staff. A little chip there that the ball just didn't bounce their way.
Yeah, I was trying to get that to drop in there like a wedge shot in golf and kind of come back a little bit, but not able to get that to stick. And the guy in the end not quite fast enough.
So the ball will be spotted at the 35-yard line. That's right around where it actually went out of bounds. And here come the Eagles. They give to the back. Around the corner, gets hit hard. Picks up about 3 yards there. Sandra Day only with a gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Garrett Olson on the carry. Smaller back, listed at 5'9", 140.
It's 5'7", 135.
Always round up on the rosters, always round up. Shotgun formation here for Simonson. He pulls it back, wants to throw over the middle. He does, finds his favorite target, Ortiz, who's right at the markers. He's got enough for a first down at the 45.
A nice job on the RPO. Leaves it in there for a long time and then pulls it out. Got the slanting receiver going across the middle. Nice and easy for Sandra Day O'Connor picking up that first down.
Under 2 minutes left to play here in the first quarter. Pumas up by a couple of scores, 13-0. 4 wide set, they give to Olsen in the backfield. Nothing doing there, loss of 3 yards there. Pumas snuffed that one up from the beginning.
Yeah, nice job by the Pumas getting penetration in that backfield. Not giving it any time to develop, and so Pumas getting some production out of that new front line.
We know Coach Jones is one of the best when it comes to halftime adjustments, already making some mid-game adjustments. 2nd and 12 now. Long throw here down the left side of the field, falling incomplete. A jump ball, man-on-man coverage, and just in front of both the receiver and the defensive back.
Yeah, nice coverage there by the Pumas. And throw that, Sandra Day O'Connor has that long, super high arcing deep ball, which some teams swear by, and it's one of those things that are nice to run, but you got to have receivers that can make the adjustment in the air, and that one looked like it was a little bit more difficult to track there for that receiver.
Pass intended for Phoenix Payton. Shane McKinley in coverage. Now 3rd and long here for the Eagles. 3rd and 12.
Now a spot that Sandra Day wants to be in. See if the Pumas bring some more heat up the middle here.
And we have a whistle. It looks like it'll be a timeout here for Sandra Day O'Connor. They can sense how important this play is, because you go down by 3 scores to the Pumas, it's likely game over.
Yeah, that's a tough spot to be in, especially in the first quarter. And so, pretty big conversion for them. They want to try to shorten this game up as much as possible to keep this Puma offense off the field and keep the score as low as possible, because trying to match scores with this team isn't a place you want to be in for Sandra Day O'Connor.
13-0. Perry on top here, just a missed extra points. And speaking of kickers, one kicker in particular is getting a lot of national attention right now. Former Puma Christian Zendejas, playing the first 2 games of the season for Arizona State. Of course, they're playing one of their games of the season tomorrow afternoon against Michigan State. Zendejas, a perfect 7 for 7 on field goals. He was the leading scorer in last week's game.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to have a backup kicker when your starter goes down, and got another one sitting there able to come in and do such a great job. And Zendejas was very consistent for the Pumas here, and it looks like he's a lot stronger, a lot more power in that leg than he had when he was here.
3rd and 12, they bring the blitz. It's almost intercepted by Perry. Simonton was forced to rush, almost threw it into the Pumas jersey there. 4th down.
Yeah, this is why he played defense and not offense. This ball should have been picked off here. Kind of cut in front of it, but nice defense there by the Pumas.
Luke Richey there, almost with the interception. Ball's incomplete.
Luke Richey had a little problem at school today, right? It was he the one who ripped his pants at the dance-off at the homecoming.
Yikes.
Thing. Split him right down the middle.
You hate to see that. Booming punt here from the Eagles. Jordan Young on the return. Fair catches at the 25-yard line, and that's where the Pumas will start. Feel bad for the kid ripping his pants at the assembly pep rally.
They're pretty tight, so it wasn't like he was wearing anything loose. But yeah, everybody was coming back. Look at this, look at this. Look at his pants. Split right down the middle.
Oh.
It's like they're in 2 pieces.
Well, Pumas retaking the field now, up 13-0. 54 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Kind of an interesting time, because depending on how the Pumas want to play it, there could only be about 2 plays left in the quarter, or they could probably run about 5 more. On first down, watch out, Purdy gets upended by a linebacker there for a gain of about 5 yards. The linebacker looks to be about 5'5", upended Purdy.
And you see Purdy here, the ball comes out late. take a look at this and see if it was the ground. See if it was the ground that caused it. Definitely the ground.
Yeah.
So easy one for the ref. We got a ref right there on top of it.
2nd and 5 from the 30-yard line. They give to Naquano behind, and he's wrapped up behind. Loss of a yard there, and that'll likely be the last play of the first quarter. 12 seconds and counting, and the Pumas look in no hurry to get this play off. So a successful first quarter for the Pumas. 2 drives, 2 scores. They're up 13-0. There goes the horn, so that's it. End of 1. It's 13-0. Perry on top of Sandra. Day will step away, and we'll be back for the second quarter here on Perry Live 365. Welcome back to John Wren Stadium. Second quarter, 13-0, 3rd and 6 here for the Pumas. This would be, you talk about momentum plays, Brian. This would be a big momentum play here for the Eagles.
Yeah, any kind of stop right now for the Eagles would be nice. Their defense hasn't done a whole lot so far, and the offense hasn't been able to back them up and get off the field to be nice here, but
well, watch out. How about that? Get off the field. They're going to do that because Chubba Purdy finds Cade Berger. See you later. Touchdown, Perry. How about 71 yards? And it's 19-0 Pumas.
Yeah, I can see here the safeties walk down. They come down with the blitz. The safety just lets them go right by. I'm not sure why they jumped that other slant. Double team one slant, and you leave the other one wide open behind. It's the same play they scored on earlier. The over top slant with the low under on the other one. And Sandra O'Connor just not playing it correctly, and the safety takes the wrong man, takes a short man, not the deep man.
Well, you'd imagine some sort of miscommunication there on the coverage. Point after is through the uprights, 20-0 now. All it took was one play. We mentioned momentum, and I think that might be all the air out of the sails from the Eagles. Down by 20 points is not a place you want to come back from, especially when the Pumas offensively had the ball 3 times and found the end zone all of those times. Kyler McCarthy retaking the field now for his kickoff, and this has been a little entertaining so far. He chipped one down to about the 10-yard line and then pooched one to the 30 where it just bounced out of bounds, almost recovered by the Pumas. Interesting to see where he might go here. You look at the sideline at around the 30. It looks like there might be some room there. Here's a kick from McCarthy. He decides to boot this one deep. This should be returnable. Nope, in fact, it drops at the 3-yard line, bounces into the end zone for a touchback. Now, if you're Sandra Day, you're in a little bit of a situation of desperation here. Down by 20 points. First drive, Eagles look good. Drive just stalled to the 25-yard line. Second drive, not so.
Yeah, you'd think they just would want to really get the run established, and there they go.
Well, here they go. Yeah, Ortiz on the carry with some room to run. gets a healthy bit of blocking out past the 50-yard line. Just a jet sweep that goes past the 50. Ortiz, however, a little slow to get up here.
Yeah, I can see the jet sweep action. Ortiz, a smooth runner, kind of Eric Dickerson style here. It doesn't look like he's moving too quick, but he's picking up some yards when he turns that corner, running away from people. Comes down hard on his head there at the end of the play.
Yeah, looks like he's a little shaken up there. Nonetheless, ball at the 47 for Sandra Day. Another man in motion. They fake the sweep they give straight up the middle. That looks like Olsen on the carry. Pulled back by his jersey. He'll be picking up 2 yards there. Ball at the 44 now.
So like you said before, the Pumas trying to get through this 3-game stretch before they get to Chandler and region play and trying to come out unscathed these 3 weeks, end up 5-1 before you get to that big game, and then trying to hold on to end up in that top 8 to end up playing for the Open Championship first year in Arizona.
2nd and 7 now. Simonson wants to throw, now has to scramble, flushed out of the pocket. He'll tuck it away and head toward the marker. We'll see where they spot him. Out past the 40 at the 39-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a few yards there, and it'll be 3rd and short for the Eagles.
Yeah, nice job taking what you can get and getting out of bounds and end up with a nice 3rd and short for Sandra Day O'Connor.
The official spot is 3rd and 2. Still no Ortiz on the field. Looks like he's still shaken up after, as Brian, you mentioned, falling a little hard on his head after that big run. 3rd and 2 from the 39-yard line. 4 down territory for Sandra Day. Man in motion, actually that is Ortiz. They fake the give to him, run the option, and that is not going anywhere. Olsen on the carry, gets wrapped up. It'll be a loss of a yard.
Yeah, I can see here the safety walks down here. I see that backer. That's 25, just stays home. Doesn't go for any of the bait. Great job. Tackle for loss.
Justin Euler on the tackle for the Pumas. Now 4th and 3. Eagles have gone for it on 4th down once already, down at the 25, and they were not able to pick it up. Now 4th and 3 from the 40. They decide to go straight up the middle, and it's going to be short. They pick up 2 yards out of the 3 possible, and the Pumas will take over at the 39.
Yeah, nice job by Euler here again. He just is up there in the A gap, crosses over and slides down, and maybe he wasn't the one on the main guy, but he cleans it up on the top. Again, 7 new starters. We're a little slow in the giddy up for the roster changes.
I mean, talk about roster changes. I mean, Sandra Day, broadcaster's delight, wearing the white jerseys with the metallic silver numbers. 1st down for Purdy from the 39-yard line. Fakes the give, he wants to go deep, airs it out down the right side, looking for Berger once again. Did he hang on? Yes, he did. Cade Berger, have yourself an evening, down all the way to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, Berger's in tight coverage here, and he just does a good job separating out. And Chuba steps up, has plenty of time here, takes an outside route, throws his hand up. And that was a great coverage, and just better job by Berger pulling it down. And so, tough job by Sandra Day O'Connor. You think you did your job, and ends up being a huge gain for the Pumas.
About a gain of 40 yards there for Perry, and they're already in the red zone. Some miscommunication. Xavier James pulled off the field late. Talking with Coach Jones now. 1st and 10. They fake the give. Throw to Jordan Young. Young trying to speed his way past his man. Does so inside the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal.
Yeah, Young's good at that little, takes that hitch. He's always a threat to kind of break out of there. He turns around pretty quickly and gets up to speed. He can be a problem for a defense for sure.
Ball at the 9-yard line here. Nwanko The running back to Purdy's right. Let's see if they go his way. Purdy decides just to throw it inside on the slant. Corner jumped it off a shoulder pad, falls incomplete.
Yeah, dangerous throw there by Purdy. It's good coverage by O'Connor, and the ball almost picked off as it's popped up in the air. Danger zone there with everybody so tight inside that 10-yard line, and got a lot more players able to make plays on balls. So
a little bit of a dangerous throw there. But no harm, no foul. Here on second down, they do go to Nwanko. Hurdles past one and then gets hit in midair by another. Gets inside the 5-yard line down to the 4. It'll be 3rd and goal. .8:20 and counting here in the first half. Pumas trying to stay perfect offensively so far. So far, it's been 3 drives and 3 scores. A gift to Nwanko. Nwanko charges forward, falls into the end zone. Make that 4 for 4. 4 drives, 4 touchdowns, and the route is on here in Gilbert.
Got it straight ahead. Pull the guard over. Nice big hole. Easy for the Pumas, and the Pumas gonna put this one away early if O'Connor cannot answer here.
McCarthy on for the point after. He's got himself a lot of work so far tonight. It falls through. Looked like he was roughed at the end of the play. Flag comes in. Both teams running off the field. So it looks like it'll most likely be on the Eagles, and the Pumas most likely to decline. Yeah, so it's running into the kicker. Pumas decline. And all is well that ends well. 27-0 right now. The Pumas way on top of the Eagles.
I'm sure a nice night for the Pumas after that stressful game last week. Again, talked about 4 overtimes just back and forth between them and Red Mountain. Red Mountain with a little bit of a break tonight as well. They're up 21-0 over Dobson in a Mesa game, but you know, that was an important win. If the Pumas wanted to be able to get into this final 8 in the open division this year, that was a game they needed to desperately win, and able to hold on. And again, Chubba Purdy kind of had a funky play at the end that was the game ended up being the game-winning touchdown. Or they did the old Tim Tebow jump ball look. He jumped, left his feet, but no penetration by the Red Mountain defense. Chubba able to pull it down and then get in anyway on a 4th down play. It was kind of a nail biter from that perspective, as far as it looked like the play was dead in the water. And so
McCarthy squibs this one, caught at the 19-yard line. And here comes, it looks like Galbraith on the return there. One of the receivers for the Eagles past the 35-yard line down at the 37. And Brian, you and I were talking earlier in this game, very similar to the game these two teams played last season, where Perry got a huge lead, kind of took their foot off the gas a little bit, brought in some backup players, and let the Eagles back into it.
yeah, that was one of those games. It lasted forever last year. It was up there, and you know, Pumas were up big, and then all of a sudden you look at the score, you're like, wait, why is it 49-35 now? And it was Pumas playing a lot of backups, and kind of kept letting Sandra O'Connor back in the game.
Nice run here from Olsen. However, some laundry on the field at the 37-yard line. So this likely coming back, and it looks like that will be the call. Both teams heading in the backwards direction. You see it there, it is holding. So it's a spot foul. However, the flag is right at the line of scrimmage, so it'll more than likely only be a loss of 10 yards, but going the wrong direction for the Eagles trying to get back in this game.
So, but after that the game last year, I was talking to Coach Jones, and he said, we're not doing that again this year. So he doesn't want that stress that they had last year and the game extending as long as it did last year. So, but I'm sure he's just being funny. They're still going to play.
1st and 20, and it'll be 2nd and 20. Incomplete. A great pass right there, almost a great completion.
I don't know. It looks up here. It looked like it was good, and you can see kind of. I don't know if it came out or not, but it looked like a good effort there by the receiver, but not able to come up with it.
And referee, well, we have the advantage of the instant replay. He's a lot closer to it than we are.
Yeah,
makes the incomplete call, 2nd down.
Nice job by our cameraman up top. Diego Gallo. Mark Yipma.
2nd and 20, and Ortiz. You know, we were talking to Steve Casey earlier in the game. They said, look out for Ortiz, and he is definitely an athlete. Breaks out of a tackle and gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he's just got the body of a, kind of a Division I player, and he said he kind of guy that they got to rely on a lot for a lot of different things, and so you can see there he's able to break some tackles with that size and deceptive speed that he has.
Just feed the ball to 21. Why not? Down by 27. 5 wide set here on 3rd and 10. Simonton gets a snap, wants to throw over the middle, has a man open, overthrew him. Looking for his receiver, Cody Said, the 6-foot senior, had a touchdown, just overthrew it.
It's an interesting play. They run like a double screen look here. You can see at the bottom of the slot, Ortiz turns around for a screen. Up top, they turn around for a screen. Everybody comes up, and they just got no safety. So better throw and a nice little better release by the receiver. Nice design there on the play, and the Pumas bit. So see if they come back to that again later, because they definitely had a chance at it there.
Mayberry is the return man. Only about 20 yards or so from the line of scrimmage. Punter is the intended receiver from the last play, Cody Say. We have a whistle coming in, and it'll be a timeout for O'Connor. Well, on the scale of homecoming games, this one, Brian, going the way it probably should, with the Pumas up by 27 here in the first half.
Yeah, homecoming scheduling is very difficult in our district, because those games that are non-region games, you typically want to get in there, fall in the wrong spots sometimes because of fall break and some of those other, you don't want the cakewalk, but you want to, game kind of more assured of winning. And so it's a little early to have a homecoming game, week 4, but when it doesn't really feel like homecoming, it's 105, but hey, that's Arizona for you.
Yep. Both teams back on the field now. Say the lefty, the righty, kind of lined up in a weird formation. It boots off a great punt. How about that bounce? He pins the Pumas all the way down to the 5-yard line.
Yeah, this is one where, you teach your guy to get this. This is where you see guys get yelled at a lot. This ends up being a 62-yard that 57-yard punt, and Mayberry goes to fair catch it. Well, he's got to catch it. Back up off of that. And ends up giving up another 20 yards nearly after the bounce.
I'm not sure if punting is in Say's future, but he might want to keep that one on his huddle.
Yeah.
Ball all the way at the 4-yard line. And there's a very real possibility here. The Pumas could probably score 2 times here before the end of the half. Still 6:30 left to go. Keep it on the ground here on the first play, and that's not going much of anywhere there. Only a gain of a couple. Day on the carry in that last play. Gain of 3. Ball at the 7-yard line. And they give today once again. He gets through the first level of defense. Watch out, clocked. But he does enough to pick up the first down. Needed 7, picked up 8.
Yeah, nice job by Day, dragging some tacklers there through the area and able to pick up some hard yards for this Puma offense.
They've done everything right so far tonight. Man in motion. We have a flag coming from the far side, from both sides actually. It looks like it'll be a false start here, and the Pumas will back up 5. First penalty on the Pumas so far, so it'll be 1st and 15 now. Pumas have had 1 penalty on each side of the ball. That false start and a defensive pass interference. And their first defensive drive of the game. Man in motion, 1st and 15. Purdy rolls out to his left, now throws looking for Young, falls incomplete, way behind him. 2nd and 15 now. .503 left to go here in the first half. Pumas way on top. Purdy with all day to throw. Now steps up in the pocket, trying to run, gets past the line and into the second level here. Picks up a nice yardage, still short of the markers. It'll be about 3rd and 6 for Purdy coming up. Clock keeps ticking here at John Wren. Drive started with about 6.5 minutes. We're already under 4.5 now. 3rd and 5 from the 21. Purdy throws on his right side. Xavier James wide open there. Miscommunication on the coverage. Nobody within 15 yards of him. Down to the 37-yard line for the first down.
I can see here, I'm not sure if the defender fell down or not, but James just runs an out route, and the guy's, I don't know where he's going. Easy for quarterback like Trevor Purdy to pick that up.
You have to imagine there's some miscommunication there. 1st and 10 now, flag coming in. That's Miles on the carry for the Pumas. Picks up about 9 yards, but with the flag likely coming back. Call is holding, so the Pumas, after picking up first downs, they had a false start, and now on their next first down play, have a holding. And it'll be, it looks like maybe 1st and 21, depending on the spot of the holding call, depending on if it was at the line of scrimmage or just a yard behind. Purdy dropping back deep, trying to set the screen up, throws, and it's almost intercepted. Nice job there by the Eagles, snuffing out that screen. Almost made something happen.
Yeah, that was I'm not sure what happened. You go look at this, we're trying to run a tight end screen, but it never kind of clears out, and he drifts downfield. That was the problem there. Really, the receiver starts to drift back towards the line of scrimmage, and run the danger of actually not being within the safe zone on a screen. Got to do a better job of keeping your flat as you drift across.
2nd and 20, Purdy rips one to his right on the far side, finds Xavier James. Nice job past the defender, completes it. It'll be 3rd and 9.
Yeah, scary throw. You had an outside linebacker, looked like he almost got right underneath that for a pick, but just short of coming up with it. That ball had some heat on it from Purdy, and so able to get it to the receiver before the defender could make his move.
Clock stops at 3:32. 3rd and 7 is the official spot. Purdy rolling left. Now has to roll back to his right. Flushed out of his original pocket, and he's brought down in the backfield. A rare sack given up by the Pumas. Back to the 40-yard line. It'll be 4th down.
Curious to see what the Pumas decide to do here if they get in a formation, take a look and see something they like here on this 4th and 8. Looks like they're going to go. Maybe hard count, try to get half it back, but.
They're looking at the sideline, getting their call. They'll stay out there. Purdy with the snap. Might take off and run here. He's going to have to pick up all of it on the ground, and he does not do it. O'Connor picks up some momentum here. They take over on downs. They have the ball at the Perry 45.
Yeah, there's nothing doing downfield. Chuba decides to pull it down. Almost looked like he could have just gone straight. He decides to kind of break some momentum of his upfield shoulder and able to bring him down for the stop. O'Connor now in business on the 45-yard line.
Well, this is where you can make something happen if you're Sandra Day. You're down by 27, you're down by 4 possessions, but a touchdown here, you get the ball to start the second half, you can make something happen. Ortiz on the jet sweep. It's a big play for them earlier. This time, not a bad play, goes for 4 yards. Be interesting to see how the Eagles manage the clock here. About 2:10 left to go in the first half. Plenty of time. They throw one out here just over the head of their receiver, and that's just a play that you have to have against the Pumas. It falls incomplete. 3rd down. Looks like the pass intended for James Groff, one of the taller players on this Eagles team, standing at 6'2". Now, if you're Sandra, you have to be careful giving the ball back to the Pumas. Too fast here. 3rd down, another RPO. It's a screen over the middle. It's intercepted, one hand. That's Mayberry on the interception, stays on his feet. Past the 40-yard line, down the sideline, pushing his blockers forward, inside the 30, down all the way to the 25. A one-handed pick almost went the other way.
Yeah, I can see Mayberry here. Everybody coming up to blitz, kind of back out the flow. Mayberry jamming his guy, and Ortiz tries to play defense against it, just not able to do it. And Mayberry fixing his face mask, has a caravan of guys in front of him, tries to get the cutback. Nice return by Mayberry, and the Pumas in business with 1:51 left here in the first half.
Down all the way to the 25-yard line. You'd imagine Chuba Purdy doesn't really need any more than that in terms of field position to go ahead and punch her in. 1:51 left to go here in the half. 5 wide set. Purdy, quarterback draw here, design run. Takes it up the middle, stiff arms pass one. He might take it all the way himself. Leaps into the end zone. Touchdown, Pumas. Chuba Purdy doesn't need 1:51. He only needs 8 seconds to take it 25 yards for the score.
As we talk about all the time, is the power that Purdy has, and he makes the guy miss here, and then you see the leap into the end zone at the end. Shows off his athleticism and the reason why the Louisville Cardinal are excited about him showing up to campus next year.
McCarthy's point after, straight through the uprights, and it's 34-0. Perry on top of the Eagles.
O'Connor was in business for a second. That turnover huge for the Pumas, and O'Connor see if they can get into a 2-minute situation here and take advantage, but not looking good for the long drive home for Sandra Day O'Connor. all the way up there in the Northeast Valley, Joe Max and some avenue. So, long way from Southeast Gilbert.
Yeah, it is a long drive home, about 70 minutes or so, depending on traffic. Not an easy one to make when you're down by 34 before the first half. McCarthy pooches this one to be returned at the 19-yard line. Here come the Eagles. Off the return, they'll get good field position out of it. That's Brian Hubbard on the return. Down to the 40-yard line. Flag comes in late. Imagine maybe some type of unnecessary roughness. Waiting on a call here from the official. So it's going to be a personal foul against the Pumas. It'll tack on 15 more. So Sandra O'Connor will start all the way at the 45 on Perry's side of the field. It's pretty much exactly where they started on their last drive.
Yeah, and see if they can take advantage again. You know, it's a team that struggling a little bit so far early. You got to see some positives out of this game. And
throw on the first play, that's complete. Watch out. Lots of game tackling there from the Pumas. 5 players bring down. Galbraith on the reception, picks up about 8 yards.
That's a nice job by this offense. Don't try to do too much and kind of work your way down the field here. You got plenty of time to run some offense here and not get too enamored with going deep.
About a minute left and 1 timeout for the Eagles. Float this one up. Well, just as you say, going deep. They try to do that on the far side. Falls incomplete. And just when you blink for a second, it's already 3rd down.
A little miscommunication here. You can see the receiver up top. Looks like he has a fade route. He's giving away the outside. He tries to work back in, which is really odd there, and doesn't give his quarterback a chance. So he's got to do a better job of keeping his position and keeping leverage over that receiver. Over that DB. And he actually gained contact that didn't need to be given. So
flag comes in late. We have it unsportsmanlike on Sandra O'Connor. So it'll be a loss of 15 yards there. And right now, it's just one of those halves for the Eagles that whatever can go wrong has.
Yeah, not a way you wanted to go there, and you still had a 3rd and man pull out of that play, and now you're in 3rd and country mile here. They're huddling up 30 yards away from the ball for some reason.
Well, the ball was going to be spot a little deeper than it actually was. 3rd and 17 from the Eagle 48. The yard to gain is the Perry 35. Simonton over the middle, has a man open, falls incomplete, threw it over Gilbreth's head, just a little too tall and behind Gilbreth, and it falls incomplete for 4th down, and there's another flag in the backfield this time. Could be a roughing the passer. Let's take a look here from the head official, and it is a personal foul against the Pumas, so that'll be a 15-yard penalty and an automatic, it's just a holding call. It'll stay 3rd down.
Yeah, high school sports say personal foul is not an automatic 1st down, which is one of those anomalies that are different from college and the NFL, and so spot foul.
It's just one of those, I think, to be different. It's not an automatic 1st down because we want to be different than everyone else. Nice job here by Simonton, reading the play. Might have been a designed run, at least that's the way it looked. Let the rush come in, and he takes off inside the 20-yard line. Big play there for the Eagles. Yeah, Simonton just gets in the
no man's land. Everybody's blitzed. There's no backers there to help, and so nice job, nice awareness, pulling that ball down and putting it safely out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Chance to get some points on the board for the Eagles this first half.
Trying to make something happen with his arm now. Floats it up. He's got his running back wide open, and it's a touchdown. Sandra O'Connor gets on the board. Simonton finds Garrett Olson, who's been the workhorse back in the backfield, and some points on the board finally for the Eagles.
Yeah, I can see a complete breakdown of defense. Just a wheel route by the back, 2 slants up top, man coverage. Nobody goes with the running back. Easy, easy play. Nice call by Sandra O'Connor, picking up that touchdown with 42 seconds left in the half.
Extra point barely is high enough to get over the crossbar, but it does. It's 34-7 now, and when you're down by 34 points before the halftime break, you need to make something out of anything. Try to get some type of momentum on your side, and that's what the Eagles just did. Now an opportunity to have a 14-point swing here. If they're able to escape these next 42 seconds, get the ball back, you could score 2 touchdowns in a row, and then you never know. You just need the ball to bounce your way 1 or 2 times.
Yeah, I can pretty much guarantee the Pumas are probably going to try to put the hammer down even with this 42 seconds left. And so see if they play it conservative or they actually go after this defense and try to put one more up as they walk in at halftime.
Two men deep to return here for the Pumas. Jordan Young on the far side, Xavier James on the near side. First kickoff we've seen from the Eagles since the opening kickoff. A little pooch kick here, moving sideways, takes a bounce and picked up by Jordan Young at the 12-yard line, working to his near side, trying to get some blockers out in front, gets wrapped up behind the 20-yard line, and that's where the Pumas will take over here with 36 seconds.
Nice coverage by the Eagles there. That ball's in the air for a long time, so plenty of time to get down there and cover that kick. And Sandra Days can try to hold up here this last 36 seconds. Pumas still with 3 timeouts.
There's always enough time for this offense to go down the field and score a touchdown. We've seen him score on the first play on a couple drives. First play from this drive is a give to Miles on the ground, coming toward the near side, trying to cut it back. Picks up a gain of 3 yards, and Coach Jones burns his first time out with 28 seconds left.
A couple other ASU players also going to be in action tomorrow. One of our favorite players to cover, linebacker Case Hatch, getting some time at linebacker for the Sun Devils. Played a lot of snaps last week, and you know he's a freshman, even though he been out of high school for a while now. And,
Yeah.
He graduated the same year as you, right? So
I think so, yeah.
He's now cemented himself as a second team and playing kickoff and everything else. He's been playing pretty well, coming off a mission where he was gone for 2 years from the game and came back in pretty good shape. And the ASU defensive coaches are pretty happy with him, and so a lot of Perry players playing well in college.
Second down, they throw a quick pass out on the flat there. Nothing really doing on that play, only picks up a couple yards.
This little bubble screen to your tight end. I don't know if that's the game breaker you want to get the ball to, so McGrain picks up a few.
Well, either way, 3rd and 3 now. Birdie gets the snap, fakes the throw, now looks near side and fires it to Cade Berger. There's a flag. It's going to be illegal touching here on Berger. Official threw down his hat and a flag all at the same time. Looks like Berger stepped out of bounds, so it'll be illegal touching. This one's coming back.
Yeah, you can see down here on the bottom, Berger's down here on the bottom, and he gets a little, it starts floating. As he gets close to that line, he does step out of bounds right on that line, and good job by the ref being on top of it.
Looked like the backside of his foot was over the line, so illegal touching will be the call.
It's not a call you see a lot, so.
No.
Good job by the ref being right on top of that. And don't give these guys a ton of credit, but it's a good one to see, and it's not like they have instant replay or anything else to take a look.
It's an important one, too, because it's a loss of down as well. So 4th down now, so here comes the punt team. It's mass substitution right now by the Pumas, trying to get everybody on and off the field.
For Sandra O'Connor, I think I'd come after this thing with everything I had, but looks like they're in return mode. Got to get some cheap points if you can when you're down this much, but Pumas confused on punt even. They're going to delay a game here if they're not careful.
You got to think about maybe taking a timeout here, too.
So here goes the countdown. They're going to delay a game here, I'm pretty sure.
Back judge is, yep, there it is, the delay of game. They throw up the flag as will be a delay of game, so the Pumas will back up 5 more to the 16-yard line. Things looking better now for the Eagles, who have had some opportunities in this game.
Yeah, if I'm Coach Casey, I'm coming at this thing with everything I got, but he's going to play return, maybe get some points at the end of the half. I don't think they got I'm not sure about their kicker, but.
Well, the punt does get away safely. And the hands up for a fair catch at the O'Connor 49-yard line, 15 seconds left. Only one timeout. And we saw the Eagles go for it on the Perry 25-yard line. So to your point, doesn't look like there's a strong kick game there. So you'd imagine in 2 plays they have to get into the end zone.
Yeah, just one timeout, like you said. It's not a lot of time. Let's see if they got something in the books here. They got some tricky. They might be able to work here. Something they were thinking about running before they even got that ball punted to them.
Well, let's see what Steve Casey's got up his sleeve. Ball at the 50-yard line. Some late communication here between quarterback and receiver. Simonson gets the snap. He wants to go deep, floats it up. He's looking for his man, Say. It's off his hands. That was the play to get them within range, and he just couldn't hang on. It falls incomplete.
Yeah, that's a nice throw here. Puts it right on his hands, and so Pumas, looks like they're in cover 2. They roll coverage away from this, and 2 guys running to the top. Blown coverage there by the Pumas. This defensive coaching staff can't be happy about that. I don't know what they were in, but Mayberry ran from his hash all the way to the other hash, covering nothing.
Now with 10 seconds left, they have to make something happen. Throw over the middle, and Mayberry has his second interception of the game. He's got to take this one all the way back. He starts at his 30-yard line. He's got a chance. Down the far sideline, tries to cut it up the field, and he somersaults his way down. So much for Sandra O'Connor picking up that momentum. Mayberry ends the half with his second interception of the game.
Yeah, I can see here Mayberry comes off of safety. He had a runner across. It looked like he would have been more patient with it. He might have been in good shape, but he's got some blockers. He's got his cousin out there blocking Jacaius. Jacaius got to go get somebody. Make it a little bit easier.
Well, Sandra O'Connor find themselves in a world of trouble here. They'll get the ball to start off the second half, but they are down a lot. 34-7 is our score. We head in to the halftime break. We'll be back here on Perry Live 365. Pumas on top 34-7. Welcome back to John Wren Stadium. Kicking off the second half between the Pumas and the Eagles. We thank you for joining us here Friday the 13th. And yes, there is a full moon out here in Gilbert, Arizona. First one since 2000.
On
we
the
learned
13th,
earlier.
yeah, on
we
Friday
learned
the
that
13th. That's one of those things you learn when you read stuff that you don't need. Just useless knowledge in your head for no reason. Why that's relevant, don't know. And the next one in 30 years, I'm not even gonna, probably won't even be aware enough to even know. Be asleep.
Kickoff from McCarthy goes through the back of the end zone. Was that off Twitter that you grabbed that? Was that AZ Central? What'd you grab that off of?
I was just watching the news when I was at home at like 4 o'clock. You know that 4 o'clock news has a lot of fluff in it. It's not real hard-hitting local news. I'm pretty sure I tried to call in and win concert tickets or something too at that point.
A lot of good stuff like that.
Yes.
That time of the day. Sandra O'Connor, last play of the first half, threw an interception. Trying to keep themselves above water here in this game. Option play here. Simonson keeps. Picks up 5 yards on the carry. 2nd and 5.
Yeah, so Hatch in there is a sophomore playing, doing a good job kind of cleaning up there on the play. And so you get some young guys in there getting some playing time, some good experience for down the line. When you get into the playoffs, you may need a little more of that depth to help out. And so
jet sweep here, flag comes in. Likely a holding call here against O'Connor. Play pending the penalty is going to be short of the markers, setting up a 3rd and 1, but the flag most likely will back that up. And it is a holding call against the Eagles. Spot of the foul is the 25, so 10 yards from there, down to the 15. So 2nd and 15 from the 15-yard line. Sounds like Sweet Caroline playing right now in the student section. They are intently watching this game as on 2nd down as a keeper from Simonton picks up 3 yards.
Pretty sure our camera guy that's down on that end is actually probably in the crowd singing, so I don't know. We can't get that shot for you.
Lots of snaps being taken right now.
Nowhere to be found.
Yeah. Third and 12 after the carry. You know, I'm not too sure. I'm not too caught up on all the rules, but I'm not sure on YouTube, at least for the stream. I'm not sure if we can have that audio in here. Might get copyright claim for that.
We need 1,000 subscribers before we start worrying about it anyway. So if you're watching, hit subscribe. We're at 6:55 or something like that, and we have plenty of watch time. We want to get $10 to go to lunch, so if we can get that on board, that'd be nice. If we had a video game channel, we'd be well over that 1,000 subscribers, but sorry, we actually have real life going on here. Not everybody's forte anymore.
Roughing the passer on 3rd down. Will move the chains here. 3rd and 12 with a 15-yard penalty. It's enough for the 1st down, so O'Connor keeps their drive alive. It's always the great part about a student section in any game, is that after the first half, it's about where the tension ends as Olsen carries past the marker for 11 yards, 1st down for O'Connor.
Yeah, those guys down there, they're having a good time. I can tell you that right now. I was down there fixing the camera at halftime, and they're chatting up a storm, and they got a strong group down there, having fun, care less about what's going on in the field. And so getting ready for ASU when they graduate.
They are having a good time. Future members of the Inferno. False start here on O'Connor. Will be moving back 5 yards.
Well, that's a tough one. My last year at ASU, we actually were good, so you had to pay attention. You wanted to pay attention. You had a team that was headed to the Rose Bowl with the chance at a national championship, so everybody was very much watching the games. Plus, the seats were a lot better back then. We were actually on the 50-yard line. We went from 25 to 25 on the east side of that stadium.
You can't really beat that. 1st and 15, pass falls incomplete.
Yeah, I ripped down 2 goalposts that year. We ripped down one for Nebraska. We shut them out 19-0, and then when they clinched the Pac-10 championship against Cal, they ripped down another one. That one we actually got down before the game was over.
Now that's hard to do.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to see the tape on that one. 2nd and 15 here for O'Connor. Slant pattern here, complete up to the 49-yard line. Nice little pitch and catch. Picks up about 8 yards. It'll be 3rd and a lot more manageable here for O'Connor, trying to keep their drive alive.
Yeah, the folks at ASU were trying to get in front of it, so they brought a scaffolding out to take it down before the game was over. Student section charged the field with like 37 seconds left in the game. The scaffolding was out there already, so now everybody's up it that much easier because they just abandoned the scaffolding, and so that's why it came down so quick. That referees actually canceled the game.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Some time left.
Did I just call it?
Yeah, because it was a madhouse.
3rd and 6. Pass over the middle, and the screen is complete to Galbraith. He breaks out of a tackle, gets to the 41-yard line for a 1st down. O'Connor very quietly moving the ball here.
Yeah, Coach Casey's been around for a while. He can make some halftime adjustments, see what he can take advantage of, especially with the video technology they have nowadays, and they can kind of get a better idea of what the defense's goal was, going in game planning. So, and a little bit of extended halftime because of homecoming. Eagles on the move with this offense.
Galbraith in motion. Simonton throws a check down to his running back. Olsen hit as soon as he makes the catch. Only a gain of a couple there.
Yeah, that was the little wheel route that ran for a touchdown earlier. Going to the well one more time, and that well was empty that time as the strong safety comes down and blows that up.
Well, you mentioned the video technology for both teams. Pumas have 2 TVs we can see right in front of us, but on the Sandra Day sideline, there is a TV, but that thing, you can see it in the back of your shot right there, blue screen. It's been blue screen the entire night.
Yeah, a little error there, so not exactly what you want to see. Maybe it's just rebooting.
Yeah. 2nd and 8. O'Connor throwing the ball deep, it's a jump ball, and Ortiz comes up with it, and he stays on his feet, sheds off a tackle, and is in the end zone. 39 yards for the touchdown. You hear the Puma fans not happy about it, but Ortiz makes something happen.
Yeah, I can see here, just throws it up. Really should have been picked. Roche's in position. A little slant route. Safety comes over, does his job, stays on top, and just comes up short. And nice job by O'Connor not giving in this game and making it a little more interesting here. 34, about to go 14 here.
And definitely still playing hard. Interesting extra point the first time. However, this one sails through the uprights, and O'Connor putting up a little bit of a fight here, only trailing now by 20 points. They were down 34. Now scored 2 unanswered touchdowns, keeping themselves alive in this ball game.
Cats. Roche just mistimed it. The ball had some air on it, and so nice catch by the all-star for their team, Ortiz.
Yeah, Ortiz went up there, he got it. Shed off a tackle, strolled in the end zone. Now this is where O'Connor really has to make the difference in this half, is defensively. Kick is booted away. Jordan Young to return. Heel planted on the 1-yard line, and here he comes. Up the near hash, to the far hash. Flag coming in from the far side official at the 25-yard line. likely to be a holding call. We have a Puma down at the 15-yard line as the training staff goes up to check on him. So the penalty most likely going to be on the Pumas, bringing them back, and they have an injury as well. And holding is the call, so 10 yards from the spot. It'll be the ball at the 15-yard line or thereabout. Prepare to kick off this drive. As Cade Lacey, the sophomore, slow to get up, walking on his own power though, so that's always an encouraging sign.
Lacey getting some extended playing time tonight as well, and so not one you want to see go down. He was one of those guys that was in for somebody that was injured, and so it's hopefully just a wind knocked out or something simple, and we can roll back in there after he gets his breath.
Here comes the Puma offense. Virtually unstoppable in that first half. All but one drive scored for the Pumas in the first 2 quarters of play. Start from the 15-yard line this time. Purdy keeps the ball himself on the far side, and that's not going much of anywhere. Only about a yard on the keeper for Purdy. The Pumas not in any hurry to get up to the line here, really letting the clock wind further and further down. Already 6.5 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. This time, Purdy does give to his back. That looks like Miles with some room to run. He does the work there, gets into the third level, picks up the first down.
Yeah, nice patience here by Miles. You can see him just following his blockers through the line. Hits the hole, puts his foot in the ground. A nice gain there by number 23.
And he gets the ball once again, trying to wait for a hole to open up. It just doesn't open for him, though. Only a gain of a yard there. 2nd and 9 now. 6 minutes remaining in the third. Purdy communicating with his receiver Holbridge on the near side. And now he throws at Jordan Young on the hitch. We've seen that so many times tonight. Hitch gets a block from Holbridge outside past the 50-yard line into Sandra Day territory. First down for the Pumas.
Yeah, nice job. Just a little, like we talked about, he gets that hitch. He's quick out of the break, and so turns around and gets a nice block by his receiver running mate there, and Pumas now across the midfield.
They give on first down. It'll be a gain of 5 yards. That's Miles on the carry. Day was the starter listed on the depth chart for the Pumas, but Miles has picked up the majority of the carries in the backfield tonight.
And they had Day playing defensive end tonight too as well, so it's a tall task to play both those positions for any extended period of time, and so I think as this thing got a little bit more comfortable, they were able to maybe concentrate a little bit more on defense for Day.
And Miles checks out, and Nwanko checks in. 3rd and 5 from the 42. Pumas offensively get their play call from the sidelines. And Purdy relays it to his troops. Claps, gets the snap, throws for Jordan Young. Even before he made his move, Young corrals the pass and is inside the 35 for a first down.
Yeah, you make a good point here, and you see Purdy takes his snap, and that ball's out really before he breaks, and so that's something you can only get by working on it over and over again in practice and taking advantage of nice timing by the receiver and the quarterback.
Definitely one of those that you pick up working countless hours in spring and the fall. This one way over the head of Holdridge. Incomplete, and that's just one of the things with Chubba Purdy that he's been better about it, especially the last couple of weeks, but ever so often you'll get that one that slips away.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where you got to get your feet right and get your shoulders pointed downfield toward the target. And sometimes when you're lazy with it, you'll drag that elbow or overstride, and that'll end up happening when that ball takes off on you, and that looked like the case there.
Second and 10. Purdy gives to Nwanko. Straight up the middle, Nwanko keeps the feet moving, picks up, looks like 4 yards there, sets up 3rd and 6.
Or if the Pumas can put one in here, and then you maybe get the backup some shots on offense and keep your quarterback hits down, because Purdy does take a lot of hits.
Oh, he just took one right there, trying to dive. Flag comes in late from the head official in the area of holding. Take a look here, and holding is going to be the call. So O'Connor decide to accept the penalty, a spot foul, of course, so it ends up being 3rd and 17 rather than declining the penalty and going for it on 4th down. And don't look now, and we've already seen a lot of time off the clock here in this 3rd quarter. Only 3 minutes remaining, and we haven't even seen 2 complete drives yet.
No, O'Connor really ate up a lot of time. Like you said, Perry was taking their time to start this drive, and they are now as well. That clock's still running.
3rd and 17. Purdy flushed out of the pocket, lets it fly off 1 foot, looking for Holdridge outside. He's out of bounds, though. It's incomplete. 4th and 17. And now what do you do here if you're the Pumas?
They're on that side of the field. They're going to look like they're going to punt and try to work on getting that ball tucked in there tight. It's one of those things, game situations, you can prepare for maybe games that are a little bit more tight and be able to make a defense, give your defense a long field to have to defend. So,
well, Kyler McCarthy doesn't get a lot of opportunities to punt in games. Only his 2nd punt of the night so far. The first one, he was tucked really inside his own end zone. Now he's got some room to work. And high snap, almost goes over his head. Has to hurry to get it out. Drops it at the 25. It bounces, and the special teams just can't get there before it rolls into the end zone. They can't keep them inside the 20, and the 20-yard line is where Sandra O'Connor are set to take over. So you talk about opportunities. This is absolutely one for the Eagles. They do a good job defensively. Sure, lots of time was eaten off the clock, but you get a touchdown here, you get yourselves to within a couple of scores. Sandra Day wants to go deep. First play from scrimmage here. They're looking over the middle, and it's caught. Gilbridge all the way down to the 50-yard line. How about that? The chunk plays in this 2nd half for Sandra Day O'Connor have got them already to the 50-yard line. Down by 20 points. Down by as many as 34. They keep it on the ground here on 1st down. That's Olsen on the carry. He picks up 4 yards. Steve Casey done a great job so far this 2nd half. Has made the adjustments. Has got his team threatening. Shotgun set here for Simonson. Throws, it's tipped off the fingertips of Ortiz, and it falls to the ground harmlessly. Could have been an interception for guess who? Luke Roche.
Yeah, Puma's in position there, just not able to pull that down. And like you just said, you know, Puma's kind of disinterested so far in the second half, and Sandra O'Connor not laying down by any stretch and playing hard here in this third quarter with a chance to put some more points on the board and narrow this lead to just a couple scores.
Need to make something happen here, though. They're in 2-down territory, but you don't want to go in a 4th down needing to pick up all 6. 5 wide set, empty backfield. Simonson throws over the middle. It's in and out of the hands of his receiver. That hurts. That was a good throw by Simonson. It falls incomplete. Looking for Alex Seng.
Yeah, good throw, but better defense here. And the defender taking away the inside. He was running a slant. He comes right and cuts him off, and that's a great job by the Puma defense there. Looks like Franklin on the pass defense for the Pumas.
And you have to watch out here. Punting comes on. You have to be thinking in the back of your head, this could be a fake. 1:31 left to go in the third quarter. No, they kick it deep. Twirling kick hits at the 10-yard line and trickles into the end zone for a touchback. So the Pumas will take over at the 20-yard line.
Apparently we have a little bit of an issue with our stream. Got it back up now. We have pop-ups coming up on our streaming device, and the internet keeps popping up on there. And so maybe that's why we lost our feed for a little bit. So thanks to Coach Schirmeyer out there for letting us know we were pulling on audio at that point. Get all kinds of problems up here. We got bugs in the press box.
Never. It's always something.
We got the air conditioner quasi working and stream going down. So
there are a lot of moving parts in the press box all at one time.
Tight area for a lot of things to have to go on.
Yes. 2nd and 9 here after Nwanko runs for a yard. Miles on the carry. Barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 9 now. And this looks like it'll be the last play before the end of the third quarter. You have to think if you're going to make a move, it has to be right now for Sandra O'Connor.
This is a tough spot for this O'Connor defense. If you put too much pressure on Purdy and you leave nobody home to pick him up if he takes off running, you're really, it's probably the worst case scenario. And so if you bring backers and things and it clears out and he sees it, he's off to the races. And you gotta play conservatively and play defense here.
Purdy decides to air it out. He's got a man. It's Berger. It hangs up in the air, but Berger stays with it, takes the hit, and has the football. He's slow to get up all the way to the 45-yard line. That'll be the last play of the third quarter, but Cade Berger really has had himself a coming-out party.
Yeah, Berger having a great night tonight. He takes a big hit here on the replay. You can see this ball's in the air for a long time, and so defender runs a twist up top, gets by, and the ball in between 4 defenders for O'Connor, and Berger's the one that's able to track it down and kind of could have fair caught that thing. It was up in the air so high. Nice job by Berger pulling it down. Huge gain for the Pumas across midfield.
Well, 12 minutes is all that separates the Pumas from their 3rd consecutive win, and their 3rd win on the season. We'll take a quick timeout, and we'll be back here from John Wren Stadium. The Pumas up by 20, 34-14, entering the 4th quarter. Welcome back to John Wren Stadium. We're underway here in the fourth quarter. Chubba Purdy, there he goes on the option. Keeps himself, hurdles a man. The top 10 is calling Chubba Purdy's name. What a play there by the quarterback down to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and the thing is here on this replay, he's a big man. It's not like you're got a little guy. He's 200 plus pounds, and make that move kind of as he angles across and show that speed and athleticism. Again, that makes him one of the top quarterbacks in the Western United States. So Purdy doing it with his legs all night tonight.
Tries to do it with his arm here. Watch out, hard hit. Pass intended for Brock Lane, the tight end there. Ball was a little bit behind him, and I think Lane will be feeling that one.
Yeah, Lane takes a big hit on that slant route, but don't be afraid to come back to it. But Chubba definitely threw a fastball in there. That's a tough ball to handle off of the big arm that Purdy has.
Ball at the 20-yard line, 2nd and 10. Purdy throws, and it's incomplete. Looking for McGrain, and it looked like McGrain was trying to make a move before he had the ball.
Yeah, the old trying to turn before you get it. McGrain, the tight end, not able to pull that down. Pumas need to wake up, punch one more in here, and let some of these backups that work so hard during the week get some time.
A little bit of confusion with the play coming in from the sideline. 3rd and 10. Pressure coming from Purdy's right, and he's brought down in the backfield. Nice job by the Eagles getting home on the blitz. They take down Purdy, forcing 4th and long. Looks like it sets up about 4th and 17. And Coach Jones looks like he'll keep the offense out there on the field. Purdy in the shotgun, Miles to his right, gets the snap, fake throws. Looking to make something happen here. Trying to take off to run, stumbles over his own feet, taken down at the line of scrimmage, and the Eagles will take over.
Yeah, that's those ones Purdy's got to be aware it's so long of a distance, and they're kind of staying home with them and not vacating their spots, staying in lanes, and nowhere to run for them. And he's got to throw that ball to somebody. And receivers got to work their way open any way they can in that situation.
Well, at a certain point in the ball game, you start to run out of opportunities, and you have to imagine this is one of the last opportunities O'Connor is going to get. Down by 20 points, 10:30 left to go in the ball game. They have to make something happen now. There goes the quarterback. Simonson's got all the room in the world to run. However, a flag in the backfield, so it looks like all this will be for naught, and it'll probably end up moving backwards.
Yeah, so frustrating as a skill position guy. You take off running and turn around, nice gain, and you see that yellow laundry on the field. Not a good feeling at all.
So with the spot foul, it's a loss of 12 yards. 1st and 22, ball at the 15-yard line now. Clock runs.
First down is 22 yards to go for Sandra O'Connor. From its own 15-yard line.
They give to Olsen, the back, doesn't get very far. Picks up about 4 yards. The Pumas, while still have some work to do, they seem in control of this game. Started out fast off the gate, scoring their first 5 possessions, but Brian, they've been held scoreless so far here in the second half.
Yeah, kind of backed off of it, cut the offense down a little bit, and then same thing, trying to get out of here with a victory with least amount of harm done to their team that's already kind of depleted with some injuries. So
Long pass here on second down, falls in front of everybody. Incomplete. Simonton looking to go deep. Nothing doing on that pass though. 3rd and a country mile.
we are still in the midst of summer here in Arizona. A lot of places I know hit fall, but talk about the weather. If you're walking somewhere, it's still 93 degrees here right now at 9:07 at night. Probably 103 in this press box. So
Yeah, it feels it. Third and 18. Simonton really needing to pick up at least half. Just airs it out on the far side, and that looks to be a great catch. However, he's ruled out of bounds. Incomplete. Alex Seng on the would-be reception. Looks like perhaps just didn't get his foot in.
yeah, I can see here on the replay, good job by O'Connor, break and contain here. And now let's take a look. He's right there.
That's close.
We don't have the technology to slow down. A ref right there, and must have been right on the white, but nice job by the Eagles fighting through and almost able to convert on that long 3rd down.
End over end kick takes a bounce at the Perry 45 and comes to a rest at the 35. Ends up being about a 45-yard punt. And that's where the Pumas will take over at the 34-yard line officially. You mentioned it's still pretty much summer, even though we're moving through the middle parts of September. And honestly, I don't know when it's supposed to cool down.
It doesn't look like it's going to anytime soon. That's the scary thing. I mean, even if you look at the forecast, it's hundreds the rest of the week, and it's like, it's time to stop this all, but
yeah,
not quite there.
Miles on the carry, picks up, looks to be 4 yards on the carry. So Perry, like we said, looks to be in control here, barring a miracle. Look to be picking up their 3rd win of the season as Miles carries on 2nd down, picks up another 2 yards. Coming up the next couple weeks for the Pumas, they hit the west side, heading to Levine next week to go take on the champions from Cesar Chavez, and come back home the week after that. Purdy now on 3rd down, keeps it himself, and is stopped at the line of scrimmage. And once again, it'll be a decision time for the Pumas, whether they want to go for it or just play it safe and punt it away.
I think they might want to go for it here. And there's something you got to work on these 4th and situational positions and see if you can pick up this tough 4th and 4 here. And this defense that's played a lot better in the second half for O'Connor made some huge adjustments to keep Purdy from getting loose on him.
Berger in motion here, 4th and 3. Send him in motion just to see what the defense matchups as, and will probably take a timeout, and he does. Coach Jones burns a timeout, and he'll reevaluate here. 4th and 3. Pumas up by 20 points with 7:29 left to go in the ballgame.
Yeah, we're talking about next week against going over to Cesar Chavez and playing a team that Pumas should handle for the most part, and so come back here and finish up their pre-league or pre-conference schedule before you get into that gauntlet of the Premier Region, where you got a Brophy team who's 4-0, a Basha team who's 3-1, Hamilton 4-0, and sorry, we're assuming Hamilton won tonight, but Hamilton assuming 4-0, and Chandler as well. So, want to come out of those games unscathed before you get into the teeth of that conference schedule. Starting to look to angle for power points.
And it is a gauntlet starting October 4th. Pumas have the champions next week, play Boulder Creek at home the week after that on September 27th. Then it's at Chandler on the 4th, at Brophy on the 18th after a week off. Then home against Hamilton, home against Basha to round out the season. As on 4th down, Purdy rushing for the marker. Looks like he's got it on the far side. He picks up the first down, and that most likely is going to be all she wrote in this game. Still 7 minutes left, but the Pumas either will most likely score or run out the clock with the amount of time left.
Yeah, nice job by Purdy, like running right at the stick, and coaches of Sandra Day O'Connor were screaming about the mark, but I don't think they're gonna get their wish there, as Purdy looked like he might have been even further than that away from the marker. So I think Chuba might be on a plane ride quickly after this. Big game for his brother tomorrow, as College game day is in Ames, Iowa, to see the Iowa State Cyclones take on the Iowa Hawkeyes in the Cy-Hawk game. One of the most hyped games ever in the history of this rivalry. And so Brock Purdy, this sophomore sensation over at Iowa State, Chuba's brother, assuming they're probably going to head out to that one.
I think that'd be a hard one to miss. Day on the carry, picks up 6 yards, 3rd and 1 now.
Yeah, Iowa State struggling their first week, and then they had a bye, which is a little odd, but played Iowa State, or sorry, Northern Iowa in a game that had to go to overtime, and Brock Purdy actually made a huge play in that one of the overtimes. The ball was fumbled and sitting there on the ground, and Brock came from about 7 yards away, jumped on it, risking life and limb really to get it, and saved the game for them. They were able to pull that one out. But high expectations from Purdy and the Cyclones in Ames, Iowa.
Day picks up the first down, ball at the 35. And Purdy keeps himself here. A little bit of a weird juke move there. Gets up to the 30-yard line as he reties his shoelaces.
He's juked himself from the ground a couple times tonight. There we go. We got the crane shot back in operation there after a little bit of a technical difficulty.
You say crane, I believe that's what they call, I'm not sure if this is the professional term, but I believe that's what they call handheld out there on the 10-yard line. Jordan Young on the completion, picks up the first down. Cooper Richter out there operating the camera. First down from the 20-yard line. Purdy decides to keep it himself, heads toward the marker. Looks like he is right at it. Depends on the spot. He's right at the 10-yard line. And they're going to give it to him, 1st and goal for the Pumas from the 10.
I didn't realize he took it off of the crane.
Yeah, that's why I said that's a handheld. Perry looking to add insurance here. Here's Day on the carry, stays on his feet, rumbles into the end zone, and that gets the job done. The Pumas put up 40 on Sandra Day O'Connor, 40-14 here in the 4th quarter.
See Day crosses the goal line as he dives across. Nice job by the Pumas, putting this one away with 5 minutes left.
Point after is through the uprights, 41-14, our score from John Wren Stadium. Well, not quite the game that Perry had last week, although it would have been pretty hard to replicate that kind of game going into multiple overtimes. Almost 150 combined points put up in that game against Red Mountain last week. And those are the kind of games, Brian, that you start off the season with a loss against a very good Pinnacle team, and you have that kind of that game that really tests your gut, kind of a gut-wrenching game, and you come out on top. I think that can do a lot for your confidence going through the early parts of the season.
Yeah, I mean, it was a game that they needed to win just for the confidence of this team after, a pretty flat performance, for being honest, week one. And Pinnacle's a good team, but it just didn't seem like, it's just like Perry didn't show up very well. I didn't think they were overwhelmingly better than Perry. And so had the Mountain View game that was pretty straightforward for him, and come back and having to fight through and really check yourself and make some mistakes to literally keep that team in there and let you know where you're at as a squad with a lot of new players that haven't been under fire. That's a huge growing game for them. So, it was one of those things where Perry should have put him away, and they let him back in multiple times. And so it's a good learning point for these young guys that didn't get a lot of varsity experience last year and weren't part of that team that made it all the way to state championship game.
Ball to 32 for Sandra O'Connor. Quick pass out on the flat, complete to the running back. Picks up a couple yards. Olsen on the reception.
Bash up 34-0 over down the road here against La Jolla. They got about 7 minutes left. Other games that are kind of a note in the conference. The Brophy Broncos with the blowout win tonight cruised in their game. So things kind of staying chalk across the conference as we go through the almost midway through the season here. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's so dang hot.
Yeah, it does, definitely.
Like week one.
You saw they're feeling it right now in the student section. As Sandra moves up the ball into the 47. My question is, how does that big speaker that one guy was holding, how does that get through the front gate?
Yeah, I don't know.
How does that one happen?
That's a good question. They're playing all kinds of music before they have a little microphone attachment to it, and they're barking out instructions, and they got a good system going. They've upgraded since week one, I can tell you that too, because that's not the same thing they had going week one. So maybe they know somebody at the front gate that let it go through, but they're playing their own music down there and everything.
It's pretty hard to smuggle something like that in, something that size.
That's just really cool, all the themes and everything everybody does. And when one of the local writers put out a best student section article this year, and so I know the Perry student section always takes pride in kind of what they come up with and how hard they go at it. And so I want to make some adjustments and show out a little bit better and see how they've advanced, maybe move up in the rankings here as the season goes on.
O'Connor moving the ball down the field, getting inside the 25, down to the 22 on that last reception. Alex Sink, senior receiver. You mentioned not a lot of size in this O'Connor team. Really, 6 foot is as tall as the receiving corps gets. Simonton puts the ball away, running laterally, tries to reverse his field. Watch out, could be a face mask. He gets clocked at the end of that play. Hit very hard. Will end up losing, actually just getting back to the line of scrimmage, it looks like, for second down.
I'm not sure that was all worth it there.
Yeah.
No gain on the play. Second and 10 to the 22-yard line. 2 minutes, 34
Felt that
seconds
hit from
remaining
here.
in the ball game.
2.5 remaining here in the final period of play. Simonton dancing around in the pocket, throws over the middle, in and out of the hands of his tight end, Gail Brett. Falls incomplete for third down.
Simonton working hard there on that play, and Gilworth has got to make that catch for him after kind of slipping his way through, finding the throwing lane, and hits him right in the hands and not able to pull it down.
Well, despite what you're looking at, the field is actually not at an angle like that. There it is.
The earth is not moved with the full moon.
It is Friday the 13th, but it's not that crazy just quite yet. Simonton throwing for the end zone, just off the hands of his receiver. And there's been 4 or 5 passes just like that where receivers have just been fingertips away from making big catches. That one would have been 6 if he hangs on.
Yeah, he's got to pull that down. You can see here, nice job by Symington. Again, kind of working through here, steps up in the pocket. A little high, but you got to make that catch. Especially if you have those stripe things down your arm. I thought those were for AstroTurf. Apparently,
Don't work anywhere.
natural gas.
How about the same play this time around? It's held on to for a touchdown. Same exact play, same exact route, different result this time. A new receiver gets 6 points for Sandra Day.
Sorry, we jacked up this replay. We had it. Honestly, I was looking at the replay and I thought it was the same play over again, and I thought I missed the mark, and apparently it was not. It was this different receiver.
Point after is through the upright, so the Eagles cut it to 20 points. And that's going to be all she wrote in this one, unless O'Connor recovers an onside kick and then makes a miracle happen.
I'll see if they bust that out and see if it's something you work on in practice. You don't get to use that often, and so. Matter of fact, I think I broke our replay system. We're just getting the same thing over and over again. That's a little weird.
I might need to do a turn off and turn on again.
Yeah, we might be a reboot here as we're got 2 minutes left. We don't want to miss the play of the year possibly coming out of here on an onside kick. Some of these things are fun sometimes, but.
Well, let's see what happens here. Might be the only onside kick we see all season, and it's not much of an onside kick. It's just popped up into the air and recovered by the Pumas at the 35. So not much doing there, and the Pumas pick up a first down, take a couple knees, and they'll be able to go home with the win.
See how Coach Casey plays this. He's got 3 timeouts left and down 3 scores. Could be like the college coaches in basketball that always foul at the end. And we're trying to play one of those games in Vegas where you might have something on the line.
Yeah.
A little frustrating sometimes when you keep extending games. NBA they don't really do it. In college they just keep calling timeouts and hacking people.
Doesn't look like that's what Coach Casey is going to do here. No timeout yet. He'll let the clock keep rolling.
That's an experienced man over there on that sideline. 34 years of coaching. He knows when to get those buses rolling out of here and take away the second half that they played really, really well in, scored a couple nice drives and held this Puma defense just 1 touchdown. Now they take the timeout.
Now they take a timeout.
They must have hurt us. Trying to give you Coach Casey credit over there, but probably one of his younger guys decided to call the timeout.
Yeah, see, and I'm not. Think about it logically, right? You don't call timeout on first down, and you decide to go ahead and call timeout on second down.
Seeing what they're going to do, if they want to run out the clock, maybe they just decided, hey, we need to get Jimmy in this. He worked really hard this week. I mean, there's all kinds of things that
That's true.
High school coaches have to think about so many different things in order to manage the game. And you got kids that work hard all week, and maybe forgot to get him in there. And so maybe somebody came up with like, oh, dang, we got to sub some guys out and get them some time. So it's not like college where it's kind of like, oh, we're going to play the guys we're going to play. And
Yeah, absolutely.
we're going to make all these guys feel like their time spent in 105-degree heat in a dark blue helmet is worth it. I've said many times, grew up in Southern California. I'm not sure I would have played football if I was an Arizona kid. I think I might have been maybe some indoor sport in the fall.
Well, you called it after the timeout. Dane White comes in to play quarterback for the Pumas. He throws on his first play from scrimmage. It finds Jordan Young for a first down. So after the timeout, the Pumas pick up the first down, and if that timeout's not called, this game realistically could be one play away from being over.
Yeah, now they're not using it.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just the changes we're talking about, getting some kids some time and maybe get a little grass on that jersey so the girlfriends are.
Well, check this out. Could have a flag here for pass interference. Maybe if it was in the second quarter, there'd be a flag. Nothing doing there. White trying to find Xavier James. There is some laundry, actually. 2 flags down by the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that was a player decision on that pass play versus putting it up in the air. He's probably going to convince coach he made his read and he did what he was supposed to. So.
Penalty was illegal man downfield on the Pumas. It was declined. Second down, 1:08 left to go here in the ball game. And they do finally give up the middle. And now we have a whistle on the far side. Coach Casey Burns his second to last timeout with 59.5 left to go here in this game.
I don't know what's going on over there.
It's interesting.
They have like a chart or something. Like, all right, well, it's less than 10. We're going to use a timeout. If it's more than 6, I don't know. There's no rhyme or reason when the timeouts were called, but I didn't see him clear the bench that much, but.
Well, we mentioned the Pumas out of the gates in the first half. Very, very strong. Scored on their first 5 possessions. Since then, they've only found the end zone one time in the second half. But ever since opening kickoff, they've been in control, and they'll be cruising to their 3rd win of the season. Handoff up the middle here, good enough for a first down past the 45-yard line.
That's one of those things, talk about getting other guys in there. Cade Wilson getting a carry there for the Pumas, number 44. Really nice run, broke a tackle there. 5'11" junior running back. Makes a move there. There you go.
Breaks the tackle, watch out. Almost broke away there, almost had 6 points. Another first down, 30 seconds left. Ball at the 30-yard line.
That's a guy that doesn't get a lot of playing time. He's running hard. Breaks out an arm tackle, puts it upfield. Maybe next week they think about him a little bit more and give him some more time against Cesar Chavez and see his effort level. So
I give it up to him here again. Slips through an arm tackle. Flag comes in late from the head official. 19 seconds left now, and we have a holding call on the Pumas, so this ball will be coming back. Big too, because that running back position isn't necessarily locked down.
No, I mean, we haven't seen a ton of production out of that spot. It's just one of those deals. You might show a little bit more of a wiggle in there, maybe hit the hole a little bit harder, or pick up a blitz with a little bit more ferocity, and next thing you know, you're working your way into the spot. It's one of those deals. The kid I grew up with, he was older than me. He's like 6 years older. He was a backup his senior year, and he went in for one play. He knocked the quarterback out, like knocked him out cold. He started the rest of the year. They played him the rest of the year, and he was a 5'8" linebacker, but he was a tough one. So things that we did back when they don't do anymore. We used to bring our shoulder pads home, and he would put his on and go hit us in the backyard. So to get practice.
Yeah, I don't think that happens anymore. Well, the clock hits 0-0. It's here at John Wren Stadium. The Pumas go wire to wire in this one. 41-21 winners over Sandra Day O'Connor. This one never really in doubt, and the Pumas led by their fiery start on offense, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, one of those things, it's hard, you know, as an offense to keep interest, and these high school kids to keep interest for a whole game. And they came out, went on fire, and moved the ball at will, and they kind of pulled back a little bit, and kind of got lackadaisical in that fourth quarter or third quarter, and you know, still easy win for them. And like to see nobody get injured and get some other players healthy. You're gonna have to play a little bit harder next week against Cedar Chavez, a team with a lot more team speed. That if you're not careful with them, you know, they'll make some mistakes and hurt themselves. But if they get a seam, those guys from Cesar Chavez will go. And so I've coached against them before. It's one of those things where you got to be careful with them. And so Pumas will work hard again next week and try not to look too far ahead to that game that's sitting on that schedule. Their nemesis, the team they cannot get past, the Chandler Wolves.
They have a little bit until they face them. One game at a time. The motto right now for the Pumas, and they took care of this game. 41-21, our final score for Brian Bernier and our director tonight, Grant Wood, for Jordan Palacio. Signing off from John Wren Stadium. The Pumas get the 20-point win. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time. The Pumas taking on Cesar Chavez next week. Until next time, we say goodnight, everybody.